Hello, my friends, and welcome to News of the Week. In this week's episode, we will be analysing Simon Harris's most recent political misstep. But before we do that, we will be analysing my most recent apolitical fit check. So Simon Harris is in Mayo canvassing presumably for the upcoming European elections, and the Burkes appear.
Have you anything to say about Enoch Burke, Simon?
About Enoch Burke, in prison for not accepting transgenderism. The Taoiseach of our country running away.
You remember when you'd be playing Pokemon back in the 90s and be like, a wild Pidgey appears. Well, a wild Burke appeared. For the uninitiated, Pidgey was one of the easiest Pokemon to encounter. And I do not know how many Burkes there are. There are so many Burkes. So the comparison holds up. And it reminds me of something that probably Joe Rogan would talk about on his podcast to do with the art of war or something like that. I mean, the Burkes assault Simon Harris when he's at his most vulnerable. He is canvassing and he is licking on a 99 ice cream. The Burkes are obviously protesting the fact that Enoch's in jail for contempt of court. And I think the thing to do in this situation, when you see the Burkes arrive, you kind of go, okay, the Burkes, I'm going to talk to you for a couple of minutes because you're all recording and it'll look better. And all you do with the Burkes is you go, guys, listen, here's my view. I know you guys think he's in jail for opposing transgenderism. What I think is that he, was sacked by his job. He kept showing up to his workplace. So that is trespassing. And now he's in jail for contempt of court. And then you kind of eventually go, okay, the Burkes, I've given you a moment. I can't talk here all day with you. Bye. And it kind of diffuses the situation away, and it makes you come across a little bit better. Simon Harris makes a fatal error. He begins to rush. What the hell does rushing ever achieve? Rushing is man's most inelegant state. You should never be caught rushing. Honestly, rushing communicates to the world that you're unprepared. Obviously. What were Kevin McAllister's parents doing when they left him home alone? They were rushing. What was Putin doing when he invaded Ukraine? He was rushing. And so now he finds himself rushing with what is, of course, a very fragile wafer cone. And when you get a 99, the ice cream seeps into the shaft of the cone, and if the shaft of the cone breaks, white stuff is going to be inside. It's going to get in his hands. And it may end up looking kind of gay. Simon Harris inexplicably starts speed canvassing. I've never seen this before.
Give up his Christian belief in prison. There's not many people waiting to see him. Let me just say it. Sorry to be annoyed you having a cup of coffee. I'm really a while to hear
sorry. How you all getting on?
Thank you so much. Hi, Louise.
He starts running into shops, really panic quickly, saying, hello, vote for me. And then he runs out again, and he goes again. It's a complete disaster. It's a beta move. And in the melee, he fatally trips.
Oh, Mike Reagan, an incredible CD. So what have you to say about Enoch Burke? What have you to say?
Now, left-wing people will say that this Garda was attacked by a mob and da-da-da-da. Right-wing fascists will claim that Simon Harris has some form of dyspraxia and he's not fit to run a country. I'm a centrist, guys. And what I'll say is that he tripped because in this high pressure interaction, he's trying to signal laddish, boisterous confidence. He's trying to communicate, this is no big deal for me, I'm cut out for this life, this is what I signed up for. And so he makes a comment, and it has this tone, it goes, we all remember this from school. A bully's trying to fuck you up, and you just kind of go, ha! And it fucking works every time. And they go, oh God, he's quite laddish and boisterous, I better not mess with him. It communicates that, oh, I can handle myself, I'm not afraid, my nervous system is not stressed right now. He does that But then, because that's not actually who he is, he panics internally, and that's what causes the trip. We also saw this in Simon Harris when he said,
and to anybody who thinks this party is tired, to anyone who thinks this party lacks energy, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm watching Dirty Harry at the moment, and that is a sort of a Clint Eastwood style line. That to me is the exact same as "You Feeling Lucky, Punk." Not many guys can pull off that kind of thing. Simon Harris certainly can't. He knows this. Again, the moment he says it, his internal system recognizes this is inauthentic. Oh, it's the look of defeat after it. He goes, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that. That's not me. I shouldn't have said that. That's not me." The other thing I want to talk about here is the Burkes. We have real life footage of this male Burke running in a backwards direction. And leftists are using this footage to spread the theory that none of the Burkes ever participated in team sports. Sometimes these religious types are homeschooled. They're homeschooled because the religious parents don't want them hanging out with the hedonistic children. And for the same reason, they don't let them engage in extracurricular activities. And it's this kind of like closed off family dynamic, goes against the world. They can get kind of culty. And I have to say, they might have a point. This is a very zesty backwards run for a Christian to have. Remember when we used to do this in football training all the time? You just run backwards, you run sideways, you run forwards. You know how to run and move in different ways. Track back, track back. Brings back so many bad memories. The point being is, he looks awful. He looks awful doing this. And it's just not good footage for him. This lady, I think her name might be Maria Walsh. I have no idea who she is. I don't care about her either way. I wish her well. She does the most manipulative move to this Burke.
Just mindful of the curb.
Running away, silent.
Just be careful of the curb behind you there.
Nothing to say. You've
You
come
might
to
not care about yourself, but we do. Go on.
Maria Walsh pretends to care about the Burke. Maria Walsh goes, "Watch yourself, don't fall over the curb. Watch yourself, don't fall over the curb." This is emotional gaslighting. You've imprisoned this guy's brother, and now you're pretending to care about him when he shows up and starts giving you hassle over it. And it's like really disingenuous and kind of scary and weird. And it's a brilliant move. Also, what I want to say is we never see the male dad Burke. And often strong women, like the female man Burke, they often have such a weak husband. And I kind of thought that that's probably what the male dad Burke was like because we never see him. But he's not.
The Taoiseach of our country running away. He won't tell me what he thinks about Enoch Burke.
And I want to say that whatever you think about Enoch Burke, he is a testament to the NoFap community. Nowhere in this world can you find willpower like Enoch Burke, the kind it takes to stay in jail for over a year on your principles outside of the NoFap community. Imagine you're a politician and you're walking in the street and you see a load of people come up to you with a camera, and it happens all the time now, and you go, holy crap, like, this fucking sucks. My life is shit. You're walking out of the post office and Shirley from the Westboro Baptist Church is there with her sign going, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" It's like, who would choose to live like that for 100 grand a year? Now, since this incident, Simon Harris has called this thuggish behaviour. It's not thuggish behaviour, guys, whatever you think of it. Thuggish behaviour is Millwall v Luton 1987 or whatever. This is just a little bit of an enthusiastic fracas. And to be honest, again, Simon Harris calling for an investigation of this is diminishing him masculinity-wise, because one of the first rules of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. One of the first rules of the streets is no snitching. And where did this incident happen? On the streets of Mayo. It kind of blows my mind that somebody can look to him as a leader. To me, I don't like Simon Harris's build. I don't like his posture. He hold your head up. You know, shoulders back, neck up. Like, did your mother not teach you that? Mothers are obsessed with that. I don't like the way he's pale. He looks like he might have low iron. He also looks like the type of guy who is subject to fake diseases such as asthma and eczema. He's skinny fat. And I'm a little bit skinny fat at the moment, even though I've lost 70 pounds in the last sort of year and a half. I caught myself in the mirror of M&S today. I go, fucking hell, I look like shit in the mirror of M&S. I look like shit. Simon Harris has to hit the gym. If you had the choice between being in the woods with a bear or Simon Harris or Enoch Burke, who would you choose? So guys, anyway, that was my thoughts on Simon Harris's most recent political misstep. Thank you so much for watching News of the Week. I'll talk to you soon.